Am I the asshole for getting mad about my mom marrying my fiance's dad?
What?
I, 24 female, and my fiance, 24 male, have been together since our sophomore year of college, so around 5 years now. For context, my mom had an affair with a coworker when I was 16, leading to my parents' divorce. She has been single ever since. Sadly, my fiance's mom passed 2 years ago due to cancer, and his dad has been single since. My fiance proposed last year, but our wedding was delayed due to COVID. 3 months ago, in January 2021, we decided it was time to have our families meet for the first time to discuss our upcoming wedding. This went well. This morning, out of the blue, my mom called me and announced that she had eloped. I was shocked as she had not been dating anyone to my knowledge. Upon questioning, it turns out that she and my fiance's dad had been dating in secret since that meeting in January and had married in secret yesterday, making my fiance my stepbrother.
If me and my sister ever put our elbows on the dinner table, my mom would take a fork and stab us in the arm. On Thanksgiving, I put my elbow on the table and she stabbed me with the fork, and she told me I wasn't allowed to have Thanksgiving dinner that night and I had to go to my room. Well, payback's a bitch. My mom got food poisoning from the turkey because she accidentally baked it with the plastic in it. But guess who didn't get food poisoning because they didn't eat the turkey? That's what you get, bitch!
My friend's mom tried to stab me and my sister. Storytime. Yes, honey, you heard that right. She tried to stab us with a knife. So at the time, me and my sister were 8 and 9 years old. And we went to the pool every single day. And we eventually made friends with this boy. We're gonna call him Tomato. Then our parents ended up making friends with Tomato's mom. Like, they ended up becoming really good friends. And after a couple months, Tomato eventually asked me and my sister to spend the night. Well, our parents surprisingly said yes. This is the one time, and the one time only, I wish my parents would have said no. Well, anyways, we went to the sleepover. By the way, it was our first sleepover we've ever been to. So we get there around 5, and we're having a blast. We made forts, we watched DT, we ate popcorn. For our first sleepover, it was going wonderful. However, the whole time we were at this sleepover, his mom was in her room. 11 p.m. comes around, and the mom comes out of her room, smelling like alcohol. She was drunk. And she comes out, she starts screaming at us. She thought we were home invaders. Then she goes in the kitchen and grabs a knife.
My 22 female fiance, 25 male, wants his father to check my tomorrow night before I get married. My fiance proposed to me about 8 months ago. We decided on having a relatively small wedding, which is in 2 days. Everything was going great. He seems absolutely perfect, and we are very much in love. I'm a virgin, and so is he. He wanted to save it for marriage, and I wasn't fussed, so I agreed to saving it. He has told me earlier that in his family, the father checks the virginity of the bride the night before the wedding. I laughed this off as it seriously sounded like a massive joke. Nope. Turns out he was dead serious. He wants me the night before in a small ceremony type thing so his dad can check me while him, his brothers, and uncle can watch so that they know I am still pure. What? I told him fat chance I'm going to do that, and he was begging me to go through with it and how important.
What would you do if you received this as a gift? Once there was a girl named Lucy who received a strange gift from someone unknown. She was so excited so she opened the package quickly, but she could have never expected what was inside the box. She pulled out a doll, but it wasn't just a regular doll. It was bald, covered in cracks, and something was wrong with his teeth. They looked pointy and beastly, almost like they were made from real animal teeth. She told her mom she needed to throw it out, but her mom told her to be grateful, so Lucy put the doll in a cupboard under the stairs so she wouldn't have to look at it. But at night, something terrifying happened. Right before she was about to fall asleep, she heard a small voice say, "Lucy, I'm on the first step." In the morning, she told her mom, who dismissed it and said that she was just having a nightmare, so Lucy went to school as normal and tried to ignore it as much as possible. But the next night she heard the same voice again. "Lucy, I'm on the 4th step." She kept telling herself it was just a dream, until the same voice returned a 3rd time, but this time louder and closer. "Lucy, I'm on the top step." The next morning her parents found that in the middle of the night, Lucy must have tried to go downstairs to go to the bathroom and fell and broke her neck. During the funeral, her toys, including that doll, was buried with her. Her mother said Lucy loved her dolls. Now they can be together forever.
So I can't really tell if it's romantic or not that my boyfriend put me up as the prize to a race without me knowing. To give some backstory, we were dating on and off for about 1.5 years. And we'll just go ahead and call this man Brad. We met in health class and he was kind of an a-hole, but I honestly fell so hard for him. Well, around this time, he sold his old car and got a beautiful 2015 black Charger. And let me tell y'all, I would feel like such a baddie when he'd come pick me up. And when I moved an hour away, he would still come pick me up weekly and take me to nice hotels. Well, one day he was talking to me about how obsessed his friends are with me. which I thought was so strange, but he was like, yeah, I showed them your picture. They all think you are so fine. And I guess they all talked about how they wish they could have a chance with someone like me and blah, blah, blah. And that's when he decided to enter his fancy little car into a race. He asked me if I wanted to come see him perform, but we were in the dead of winter, so I was like, probably not. That's when he started begging me and told me that the prize was really important. So I decided to go. Follow my Insta. Storytime part 2 to my boyfriend putting me up as the prize for a race without me knowing. So when I showed up, I had a feeling that the prize was pretty important. So when I finally saw him, I was like, hey, so what exactly is the prize? And he gave me the weirdest look and he was like, babe, you know how all my friends think you're hot, right? I was like, I mean, sure. And he goes, well, I told them whoever wins gets to be your boyfriend. So I was like, WTF, Brad? Why would you do that? And he just looks at me and goes, don't worry, I'll win. And I was like, well, you better. So I literally stood out there in the cold watching a race that I could barely see. There was someone really tall in front of me. My heart almost dropped several times because I kept hearing Brad is gonna lose. And then I pushed the guy in front of me out of the way and saw Brad cross the finish line. One of his friends actually came up to us after the race and claimed that Brad cheated to win. He was probably just a sore loser, but we celebrated the rest of the night. If you guys have a story you'd like to share, follow me and DM me on Instagram.
Now, I'm sure many of us have encountered little shits in supermarkets. Kids running around, knocking things over, being rude, but the worst are the biters. Today I was shopping in the grocery store when a biter got me. He broke skin too and I started bleeding. When I saw the blood on his teeth and the grin he had, the gears started turning and I got an idea. Made my eyes go wide and started screaming, shit, fuck, no. My good friend was there too and he instantly picked up on what I was doing. He started shouting, fuck, maybe he didn't get it. Shit. By now, the kid is scared shitless and starts crying, and instantly, his mom appears out of nowhere and starts getting pissy at us for yelling at her kid. Here's the kicker. I look her straight in the eye and say, ma'am, get your son tested as soon as possible. He just bit me and I'm HIV positive. And now there's silence, not a peep in the entire store. Brat knows he just fucked up big time because his mom isn't defending his ass. He stares at me wide-eyed and I walk away from them to buy my groceries. All while blood is dripping from my calf, making a nice little trail on the floor. Just as we're about to leave, we start to hear the mom sobbing like the little she is.
This is the time my mom faked her death so she didn't have to take care of me and my siblings. Yes, this girl really faked her death. So at the time, I was 5 and my little brother was 3. It started off with my mom saying that she didn't feel well and she couldn't pick me up from school, so the bus would have to take me home. Well, a few months after, she started getting picked up from our house by this black car. She said that car was picking her up because of her so-called doctor's appointments. And she wasn't able to drive herself because she was too sick. Well, one day, when this car came to pick her up, she never came home. Me and my little brother were sitting around for a couple days waiting for her to come home, but she never came home. And we were young, so we didn't do anything. Eventually, my aunt came over to our house and told my little brother and I that our mom had passed away and that she was cremated and they kept the ashes. So our aunt started taking care of us. Until one day I saw my aunt getting picked up by that same black car. That's when I started to get suspicious of everything and I decided to check these ashes. When I checked, it was flour. Like for part 2. This is part 2 of the time my mom faked her death so she didn't have to take care of me and my siblings. Like I said, my aunt told me that my mom had died and they cremated her and they let her keep the ashes and that she was going to start taking care of us. Me not knowing how long the cremating process actually took at the time since I was so young, I believed her. Until one day I saw my aunt getting picked up by the same black car that my mom used to get picked up by before she died. That's when I decided to check these supposed ashes and it was actually flour. So one day when my aunt got picked up by this black car, I decided to follow her. I didn't have a car. I was 5 years old, so I had to follow them by walking and hiding behind bushes. I was able to follow them up the street, and once they turned the corner, and there I saw my mom standing on the side of the street. That's when I see the car stop and I see my aunt get out and approach my mother. She tells my mom to give her money for covering for her and taking care of me and my little brother. Mom says she faked her death because my dad wasn't in our lives and she didn't want to take care of us anymore. I'm older now and I cut her off completely and I have full custody of my little brother.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making some slime because I've gotten requests on how I make my slime, so I thought I'd show you guys. First things first, I just want to mention that you can see my tripod. I don't know why it's like that. I think I broke it, but I don't know. And then right here, I also wanted to say this is a hard mat. All my other videos, I've gotten so many comments, and I've said multiple times that it's a mat. You can see right here, because I would not put slime on the carpet because one, it'd get hairy, and two, it would stick to the carpet. But now I'm making slime. I just get like a little Tupperware container, bowl, whatever. Next I take my gallon of Elmer's glue and just put in some glue, obviously. Also, sorry if I sound weird. I am very tired. So when I'm posting this, y'all will see it in the morning. Next I just add a little bit of shaving cream because I don't want to have to add lotion. That's good. Okay, so I'm just going to take a popsicle stick and mix that. Okay, this is the part where you can go ahead and add color, but I like to keep it a solid white because I don't know what coloring I'm going to be doing for my story times. Next, I use this Tide. I know a bunch of people use clear Tide so that it doesn't have a blue tint to it, but I don't have any of that right now. Some people also use Stay-Flow or Staff-Flow. Some people use borax and then contact lens solution, but I don't know. Whatever you feel like using. Then when you start mixing it, you should just see it start to clump together. And I'll show you whenever it's time to knead. Okay, like right when it gets to like this point, I like to start to knead with my hands because if you add too much activator, then obviously it's going to be really hard. I added a little bit more activator. You just do however much you need for however much slime you're making. I also sometimes add more shaving cream. You just really need to go based off of what you think your slime needs. Okay guys, so here's the slime. And if you ever are making slime and it's still like sticky but you've already added a bunch of activator, I would recommend you add shaving cream. Now you don't always have to add shaving cream into your slime for it to turn out, but I always feel like my slimes turn out better when I have shaving cream in them. And if anybody's wondering how I make this like butter cloud slime, whatever you want to call it, without clay, then leave a comment down below and I will show you how I made mine. It's like a butter, but then it also splits into like cloud slime, so I really like it. So let me know if this was helpful or if I really need to redo it.